Welcome to our second video. I'm Sean and this is The Boy, and today we're going to show you how to make magical floating candles that you can turn on with a magic wand. We are all about making magic happen where we're using technology to make things that are indistinguishable from magic. All we need today to make this happen are candles that you can buy online. Now these are really cool, actually wax candles that have a little tiny LED light inside them and a Bluetooth connector so you can turn them on using a remote control and a couple of batteries in the bottom. We're going to talk about all of our experimentation with that. Next, you need a magic wand. We have this really cool magic wand from Kymera, and this is actually a Bluetooth magic wand that allows us to turn things on. Once you have those two things, you just need a bunch of other cool little things and a 12-year-old boy to make all this technology work. Number one, you have this candle. Now, we found a bunch of suppliers on the internet, on Amazon, for example, through Wish, that will sell pretty much the same candle. They're a little bit different, so there's lots of people making them, but inside the actual wax, is a nice little candle object. Now, I will note that because we're going to be hanging these inside the ceiling, dangling, you want to put batteries in them that are going to last a long time and that you can recharge. You can buy end-length batteries. These are professional high-end batteries, but man, do they last a long time. These suckers are incredible, and I'm talking months here for these candles. Not on all the time, because you kind of turn them on and off just like lights, but they work absolutely fantastically. The really cool part about these candles as well is that you can turn them down and you can make them flicker a little bit. You see that pretty flicker? Ooh, it's so pretty. And that pretty flicker actually looks really great when they're all flickering up in your ceiling. You can't notice them. So in the back of these candles, you've got two little batteries, and all you do is put those two little batteries in, turn it on, and voila, your candle works. So the most important part about this is how do we get these candles to magically hang in the ceiling or from the ceiling without you being able to see what they are. So we did a whole bunch of experiments. For example, we tried this magic stuff right here. We tried this magic stuff right here. But I gotta tell you, there's a couple of these things, and you can actually buy these on penguinmagic.com, all this stuff. So we tried all these different magic threads. I'm not sure if you can see that, but man, does this ever unbelievably incredible to not be able to see. You see this? I'm moving his hair with my, you'll also note that it's a little weak, see? So for magicians, where I'm actually moving his hair around, but it's not that strong. So we found that if you attach these to your candle and tried to pick up your candle with it, it would just break. So good for holding a dollar bill, not so good for holding a candle. Oh my goodness, see, I'm attached to it. You can't even see that. Isn't that incredible? Whoa, it's incredible. It's incredible. So wild, so neat. Okay, so what we found is that the coolest and the easiest thing to do was to figure out what the background wall looked like, and then just go to your local art store and find that background color in normal everyday thread. And that thread that you would just use to sew clothes with is really strong. I mean, really strong. And it will easily hold a candle up without any trouble. Now, the last thing is, how do you attach the string to the candle so that it hangs in midair? That's a little bit more difficult. If you use alligator clips, so let me show you what alligator clips look like. So you'll remember these, your local staple, stuff like that. So this is just a normal, everyday little alligator clip, right? And we experiment with, pulling the top of the candle out. But if you pull out just the little tiny end piece and open this sucker up, like that, then you can tie your thread to this candle, and we found it really easy. You can actually just tie this to another one of these clips and put a nail on the ceiling or put a hole in the ceiling and hold your candle easily. And now you have a dangling candle and you cannot tell how it's dangling. Now, lastly, so you want this to really look good. One of the problems is because you stare at these suckers from the bottom, you can kind of tell there's a battery cage on it. So what we did is we found a bunch of good old-fashioned things that you'd use typically for, furniture. Stick these in the bottom of a couch. So you just peel these suckers off and you stick them on the bottom of your candle like so. Not very hard to do. Now, there's two problems with this. One is the bottoms of the candles have 4 little feet, and so they all fall off and stick to your floor permanently. That part sucks. Getting them off the floor is very, 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 very difficult. So instead of doing it that way, what we found is get a little dab of glue from a glue gun and just glue gun it to the bottom. And then you'll get this beautiful bottom of the candle aesthetic, as well as being almost impossible to tell that it's not a real candle hanging in midair. So last but not least, we want to be able to turn these things on from in the middle of the air. Yes, there is a switch on the bottom that will allow you to turn them on and off. The cool part is they actually use a remote control. So you can turn these things off, on, off, on. So you can turn them all off, on very easy. You can also set them to just go for 2 hours. You can have them as a pure light or as a candle light. You can turn them up and make them brighter. You can turn them down and make them less bright. So if you want a whole bunch of them together, you make some less bright than others, and it looks really, really cool. So the last thing we want to do is this isn't really magic. It's kind of cool. These things are hanging, dangling in the air. But to make it really cool, we want to use a magic wand to make these things happen. So that's where the Kymera Wand comes in. This is really, really cool. It's usually, I think, used as a remote control for a television. But this is kind of a cooler thing to do with it, which is actually turn on the candles. I can't make it work. Can you see if you can make that work? So you can turn on the candle. Oh, that was turning off the candle. Can you turn on the candle? I'm actually not so good at turning this thing on and off with the wand. The boy here is, I think, magic in some way that he can make that happen. So this is kind of neat. If you want to learn how to program the wand, that is not for this video because it is a very long and tedious process that adults could never figure out. But this is really cool. So now I've got a bunch of candles hanging in my ceiling that look like real candles that you can turn on and off from a Harry Potter-like wand. Does it get any cooler than that? If you really enjoyed this video, please subscribe and/or click that bell and we'll notify you of future videos. Based on how many subscribers we get, we're gonna do more videos of cool magic projects like this. We have the lights, the magic fairy lights to do. What else we have? We have the chessboard, the magical chessboard that moves its chess pieces around. We have the guitar wall that makes sort of a doorbell sound using different guitars. We have the Marauders map. There's all sorts of cool things that we'd love you to subscribe to and watch in the future. Let us know. We enjoyed doing this for you and we'd love to do more.